Can you give me some credit that for emotional intelligence, I'm pretty up there for men?
I'd say you're curious. And
That's a good way
and
of
I
putting it.
appreciate that you're curious. You have a lot of curiosity.
Yes.
You have a lot of curiosity, and I actually think curiosity.
I want to learn.
Yeah, curiosity goes a long way. A curiosity is how you get more intelligent.
So someone like you could benefit me and make me better.
Why would I do that?
Sure. Yes.
I don't mean it mean. I mean it's like this is like.
Yeah.
but
Why
I think
would you?
this is-
I get
but
that.
This is
I met you in the first couple of years.
like when we used to go to the diner with Fahim and Ian.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, when we would go to the diner, I remember.
Back when Ian was young.
Back when Ian
Was old young.
I mean, I remember. Do you remember that I mean, I told you this before. Do you remember that you're like, hey, you should be with Fahim? Do you remember this? One time you slowed me down.
I think so. I was like,
Yeah, one time you slowed me down. You're like, hey, you know, you're brown.
Yeah. I was
and
like, you're brown.
and you're like, Fahim's brown.
You guys are both the same.
You're the same. You should like date Fahim. And I was like,
Just a typical
what?
Florida boy.
Have you fucking met me?
You know what? I can remember. I don't think I would have said that because of the brown thing. I think I would say that because you're both very highly intelligent people.
We're so different.
Oh, yeah. Now that I know both of you really
Yeah.
well, you're not compatible at all.
No.
At all.
No, he's like a computer. I think he would make a great crypto fund.
Yeah.
Like if he was crypto. You know, he's got that like algorithmic brain.
Yes, he's an engineer.
Yeah. He's got an
Yes.
engineer's brain.
But-
He's got an
but-
engineer's
and
brain. He
that's-
reminds me of like hedge fund guys.
Our
Yeah.
relationship was built on him trying to understand women and ask me through that.
What?
Yes. That's how we met
Wow, really?
I started in stand-up and I saw him do stand-up. You know, I'd sit in the back of the hallway and watch all the comedians at the store, right? And I'd watch them all because I'm learning, right? Your first 2-3 years, you're gathering information. And I was like, this guy's the best. This is what I thought. I was like, this guy's
Yeah,
funny,
yeah,
man.
yeah, you
He's
love
like,
him.
he's really silly. Like, I love I like silly brand of comedy.
Yeah.
And back then, we've all evolved to like a different style of comedy. But like back then, we were 26. You know, he's really silly. And I was like, you're really funny, man. Like you should like own that. Like you're that funny. And he was like, really, really. And he just like his self-confidence wasn't there. Like he's a late bloomer to really maturing as a man in his skin of like with confidence maybe, you know, because I don't think he had the same lifestyle I did where I was a social bug. I like getting to know Fahim. I don't think he would care if I said this. Like he went to college in Seattle where he was raised and went to high school. He didn't move out of his parents' house until he moved to LA.
There's a British children's novel called Leo the Late Bloomer, and it's about a tiger. And perhaps you could gift that book to Fahim because he'll find it relatable.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sweet. And I
Insane.
wish I could.
That's an
Yeah,
insane
I wish-
sentence.
But like he just was, he didn't have like that. Those social aspects you learn in college are so important. He didn't do that.
Forging a new identity.
So-
there's a notion of like when you
Yes.
go to college, you can reinvent.
Yes.
Okay. So this
But
is-
so he didn't do this. He's at home, go to college, come back, go to home. Like didn't date, didn't drink, didn't do any of that. So
Yeah.
then when I met, I was like, dude, I wouldn't consider myself a writer. How do I even write stand-up? I don't know. I've never wrote in my life. I didn't do it even in college. So like, how do I even write? I just like to be
and
funny.
especially given that you can't read.
I can't even read. I still can't.
It's devastating.
I still can't.
You read backwards. You read like an Arabic.
Yeah. Now, yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that you're sitting down.
I know. It's unbelievable
This is
that I
an
came here.
unbelievable pairing that people would never expect.
No.
And then here we are. You're like, are they compatible?
No, definitely not. But you know,
There's some places where we could be, and we can explore that.
No, I don't. I
You
think
don't want to. You know what?
I don't think there's any world, and you know
Your
that.
walls are
No.
up.
My walls aren't up. I'm going to
We
say
could
this.
find something.
I can say this because it's. I think it's like we are. You know, I'll always have a soft spot for you because I met you in South Florida.
Oh,
you
when
know
I
what I
first
mean?
started with Eric Myers and
we were
he
in
was on the
some-
show. There was like a Fort Lauderdale comedy
Yeah.
club.
That's
that was
it.
just some guy put together, which
That's
was
it.
cool.
Yeah, and it was in like, and then you're like, I'm from LA, and you were like so always so excited. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I still am.
Just yeah, but
Well, it's a little less.
I
yeah,
said that
yeah.
more broken
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
but like there was like such a kind of just like an unbridled, like you're like, this is awesome. I'm like, we're doing it. And like, yeah, man, like comedy. You know what I
I've
mean?
always been a dreamer, and I am with relationships.
Yeah, you just got this like, yeah, and like you're from, and I really remember you from like being at home in winter in South Florida. I'm like, oh, this is like a guy for, you know what I mean? Like, this is like, we're both from California. We're in like Florida together. And so I always will have a kind of soft spot for like the people that you come up with in that area, like Richie, Lala, and like those guys.
I wonder where. I haven't heard from him in years.
Yeah. I don't know where
there was, and then what's his name, Blake's or whatever. He's doing great with his character. Like he was there too, but is it Aristotle?
And
he was doing stand up and like
lovely guy,
just
lovely guy.
To see what he's bloomed into is cool.
Yeah. It's
DJ,
like a lovely.
He's just like
it's a lovely group. It's a lovely
you got
group
your
of
whole
people.
world.
Like
it's
that funky Buddha, those people.
Yeah.
So I associate you with that in my mind because I'm not sure that we would be friends if it wasn't for meeting that winter.
Same with me and Fahim. Wouldn't be friends if it wasn't for comedy. So then I learning the comedy thing and then him like learning like, so how do you talk to girls? How do you like, it was like we had this exchange.
Sure.
And we're like, and then through that you develop a relationship of understanding to each other.
This is your first feature film. Like you could set it in high school. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like two people who would have never been friends in high school and never had anything in common outside of the only thing we had in common was wanting to be silly and funny.
Yeah.
And then we could learn about like, structure, like the stand up thing. And that anytime he was like, well, what would I say to this girl? And I'm like, hey.
You're like a Mr. Miyagi and a karate kid.
And he was for me. We both were.
And except like a bro and a autistic person.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're going to have to cut that. You
can say that.
Yeah. You can't really say that. We don't know if
you're
he's
not
on
going
the
to get in
spectrum.
trouble. No, you can say, look, as long as you're not saying any bad, you're fine.
No,
you think
it's
you're gonna
fine.
get you won't be.
Tism. I mean, I'm on the other side of this.
We're all on the tisms a little bit.
We're
not
all
you,
on the spectrum.
But
no, probably a little bit. Probably like running late and like maybe a bit scattered.
No, or maybe being brutally honest, like I am. We kind of just say what we're thinking, and sometimes we don't have a filter.
No filter.
No filter at all. So
no filter.
Going back to you, and we kind of went over this last night.
Yeah.
I've relatively known you for 15 years.
I really wish you would stop saying that. I feel like you're really trying to age me. I've known you since I was 13 years old.
Sure, but look, women don't want to be aged, but
it's not because I care.
You don't
about
look
my age.
like you're in your 40s.
I'm not.
Yeah,
that's why.
I know you're
that's
not.
Why I don't look that way.
But that's why I'm saying
this
you also
is
don't look.
devastating, Ren. This is harassment.
Also, I am being very, very sweet to her compared to some of the people I can go in hard.
Yeah,
but I know that you're a fragile soul, even though you have a tough outside shell. You look like you're tough, but I think you're a vulnerable person.
Of course, I'm vulnerable. Everyone's vulnerable.
Nice. I like how you admitted it. I was hoping you would be like, no, I'm not. And I was like, damn.
It's like every person is vulnerable on the inside. That's why you have a tough shell.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with who you let in.
So you don't let people in. And this is what
I'm careful with who I let into my. Yeah.
This is a great segment because I've never known you to be in a relationship.
I know, but that's just because it's not a public endeavor.
Smart.
It's not a public endeavor. Well, here's the thing. Okay. I was thinking about this because you did ask me this yesterday. You're like, oh, I don't know anything about your like dating or romantic history. And it seems very intentional that you've done it that way. And I was thinking about this. So when I started stand-up, right? When I started stand-up, I was like smart and I really liked comedy. But then it's like when we would go to the Improv or to clubs and we would all be hanging out in like the happy hour to like network with people, I would get hit on what I thought was an egregious amount.
By comedians.
Yes, it was unbelievable. Like it's actually, and like,
that's just how and it still is that way.
It's not as bad.
It's not as bad because people are scared.
It's not as bad because people are scared and good and fucking good. No, because sometimes it's not wanted and it's like read the room a little bit. And so for a long time I was kind of like, oh, it's like me, so how do you effectively, if you're not there, I'm not there to date you. I'm not there because I like want a relationship with you as a comedian. Yeah. I just want to be funny. I want to get on shows. There are a number of times when like somebody was like would ask you out and then like they don't put you on their show anymore.
Yeah, that sucks.
And it's like, and that sucks. And so then it's like, okay, how do I make it clear that I don't want to go out with you so that then people don't feel rejected? Do you know what I mean? And I think that creates like a sense of walls. I think it's a little bit functional.
I think there's something to say about like the Me Too movement that helped a lot of people like me learn like we're not bad guys, but like understanding the difference of like, oh, you never thought about it from the perspective of, hey, sometimes people want to talk about comedy and talk about creative things, but then if you do hit on them, you forget that it ruins it for them because then they now feel not as valued because they think the whole time this was just about that and it wasn't about the artistic thing. And it might not be true, though. Guys still could be attracted or want to work with you in the artistic way, but you cross that line, which seemed innocent and fine, but it wasn't brought to our attention to understand that there is a world to be a little bit more conscious about crossing that line. Does that make sense?
Yes. And more than that, I would say, like, okay, like you're in a workplace, like any workplace, maybe a romance would burgeon between people. Maybe a romance would
once the respect was built.
Maybe there's a romance that would come up. And so I understand why that would get sticky. But if someone says, no, I don't want to go out to lunch with you, or somebody says, no, I don't want to date you.
Don't penalize them.
And then that's it. You know, now they have no interest in you anymore. That happened a lot with like bigger comics. It was like somebody who you thought you were being nice and charming and funny to. Oh, maybe I could feature this for this person. This is why Anthony Jeselnik will always have like the gold standard for so many women comedians, because he had Mo Welch, he had Cameron Esposito. He's had so many women open for them. But a lot of those opportunities that were afforded to you, right? Like the featuring or the opening for people. It's like, how do you navigate that as a woman in comedy in a male-dominated environment?
It's very hard.
And if you have to very elegantly thread the needle of someone else's ego, they're not getting bruised, so that then they're not like, fuck her. So like, how do you navigate all of that? Especially like, I don't feel like, it's not like I grew up being like the popular girl in high school. I was like a smart person. Do you know what I mean? So like,
we call those dorks.
Thank you so much. I mean, now we call them, what do we call them?
The leaders of the world.
Leaders of the free world, other than Donald Trump. It's true. And also, and now it's like, it's an adding insult to injury, because I'm neither of those two things.
Prospects. I call them prospects for future wives.
Sure. No, you don't. You don't actually think that. And that's what's so funny. It's like, that's bullshit. You would never want that.
I would love a smart woman.
No. Yeah, you want smart, but you don't want like, you
think I want a dumb girl?
I think you want.
No, you got to. I think you got to see who I've dated.
I think you want I think you want somebody who matches you. You know,
to an extent.
I don't think you want somebody smarter than you. I think it's harder. Yeah, you don't want somebody
but they got to stimulate my brain, and they got to have ambition.
Yeah, but they can't be smarter than you by a lot. Which is.
What do you mean? I need someone smarter than me to check me, to teach me.
Those can be your friends. That you can have it's not like this is the only relationship in your life. You're gonna have your partner, and then you're gonna have other people.
How about this? You don't think, like, outside of the sexual aspect,
what I think is very funny. What I actually think is very funny is that you admit that I'm like way smarter than you. We can both.
I think you're way smarter, book smart. Yeah, absolutely. I think you're more educated than me. Yes, that's correct.
No,
Are you smarter than me in like all aspects of life? Definitely not.
But that's not. I don't think anyone is like smarter than.
You're. I would like to say that you're educated. You're way more educated, but who are we
maybe
to say?
Higher psychological and emotional intelligence.
Do you think emotional intelligence that
definitely.
You could be? You think definitely?
I think
definitely.
I think definitely.
But can you give me some credit that for emotional intelligence, I'm pretty up there for men?
I'd say you're curious.
That's a good way of putting it.
I appreciate that you're curious. You have a lot of curiosity.
Yes.
You have a lot of curiosity, and I actually think curiosity.
I want to learn.
Yeah, curiosity goes a long way. A curiosity is how you get more intelligent.
So someone like you could benefit me and make me better.
Why would I do that?
Sure. Yes.
I don't mean it mean. I mean, it's like, this is like.
Yeah. Why would you? I get that.
But this is also like just this. I think this is like, I'm gonna fall.
It's like a babysitting job.
I'm gonna like melt into the chair.
It's like a babysitting job.
I think there's like this thing of like, but don't you wouldn't you? Everyone wants to grow together, but also don't you want somebody who's going to be some version of an equal to you, or bring some sort of do you know what I'm saying?
Why do you think that? Do you think that would be beneficial for all relationships, or are you saying just specifically you?
People come as fully formed individuals who have emotional and intellectual growth. Like, one big joke that you hear from a lot of women is like, oh, like you get a boyfriend and then you fix him and then you pass him on and he's better for like the next woman.
Yeah.
And it's a funny bit,
yeah.
But like the kernel of truth in that bit is like really fucking sad for our society. And it's really fucking sad for one gender and dating. Like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's a problem. That's a problem. That means it's also stunted. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be emotionally stunted. It also means that when you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It means you're also living a small, stupid life, and you're like an idiot. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't live in like a 3D way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're saying people in general, not me specifically.
I'm not saying you specifically. Yeah. I'm saying, but when
just to clarify, guys.
I'm just saying anybody. Whenever you're living too, like, I remember like Sam J said this thing one time because I was like, oh, I got to be like nice. Like, because one thing I will say that's true is like when you have your guard up, this is like I wrote a screenplay about this. Like that was like the first thing that I ever got developed. It was like, it was set in a different world, but I was like, when you have your guard up in one field, like professionally, it does have an impact on your personal life or the way. So it's like, it's very hard to be a person who, if you have your guard up because you're like, I don't want to date anybody. I don't want to date any of these comics. Like, I don't want to date anybody. It's hard to then like let that guard down. It's like code switching. Do you know what I mean? So that can be, that creates, that's difficult for anyone.
When you have your guard up specifically, slow this down for me, when you have your guard up in a relationship and dating.
No, I'm saying professionally.
Professionally,
what I was
when you have
talking
your
about,
guard up.
I was saying,
so you're talking about as women.
I was saying, like
from what you were.
Well, for me
got you.
in stand up, when we were talking about in stand up, right. when we were coming up, it's like if I got hit on enough, then eventually I stopped being so nice. Like when I remember when I would first meet people, when I very first started, first 6 months, oh my God, hi, so nice to meet you. I'm Kiran. Like I was like a fucking, like I was a politician running for fucking office over here, shaking people's hands, like showing the pearly what, you know what I mean? Like, you're being
think
warm.
The business is going to be fun and happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's comedy, 100%. And then you realize it's
warm and charming.
It's competitive and shitty.
Well, whatever. You're just being the warm and charming version of yourself, right? And then you're like, oh, because I like want people to like me. And then if people like you too much, and then they're like, oh, now she doesn't want to fuck me, or she doesn't want to. She doesn't want me to hit on her. Now I discard this person. Then you're like, oh, maybe it's better if I'm a little bit more like I'm a little bit more. Hey, how are you?
I see that. And I also, just for people watching, I don't want to paint the picture of like, it's not like you're coming into this dark world where it's like every guy you're walking in, we're all like, like it's she's talking about a percentage of 10 to 15% of like it does happen.
Or I would say I'm talking about like, these are social environments, and we're talking like 2015-ish, before pre-Me Too. The social environments are the office, the workplace is like clubs and bars after 10 p.m. during happy hours when people are networking, and that's when they're drinking, and that's when you kind of make your friends,
or diners. We did a lot of diners was big. I wonder if that still is happening right now with the younger kids.
But that's kind of the, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of the environment. And so that's already like kind of a gray zone, like loose workplace.
Yeah.
Less women. Percentage wise, it's got to be 10 to 20% women as opposed to men, right? And then you're just kind of, somebody like me is an anomaly. Like I think there's other women, to be very fair, who are much better at threading the needle of like somebody flirting with them and being like, ha 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 ha.
Some are good, and they might be smart about it too.
And they're smart about it, and they like really navigate it. And my answer to that is fuck you. Yeah. I don't think I should have to do it, to my detriment. To be fair,
but you're right.
It's like, but it's to my detriment. Career-wise, my inability to do that is to my detriment. But here we are, two bitter people now.
I would say, but that also is a relatable thing that goes for women in all aspects of life. I don't think it is obviously just in stand-up, but I think that happens especially in any male-dominated field. So male-dominated
sales,
fields. Finance, all that stuff.
Tech is really very real. Even astronomy, the movie I wrote was set in the world of astronomy, because it's like very male dominated.
It's probably not like the networking part of like the drinking, but when they go away to like these events and weekends, it's probably the same.
Philosophy departments in universities have a massive problem. Like they had one of the first Me Too movements. Think about that. Philosophy is how we're supposed to think and orient the world. Those were some of the biggest offenders.
I mean, those guys are awesome, because they're manipulating the women into being like, this is actually you should do this.
I know, but those are very smart women who are also in those philosophy programs, and they're like, "The fuck is this?"
Yeah, you're right.
They're like, "The fuck is this?"
That would be a fun battle to watch. Those two people have a conversation, and him try to manipulate her and convince her that they are compatible and they should hook up.
Michael Lenochi's trying to sell my movie.
Yeah,
trying to.
It would be a good look. I'll work. I'll be an extra. I can be an extra.
Listen,
I guarantee you the dialogue for a lot of the characters are words I can't say, so I probably can't be. I could be like just a waiter.
Show up. You could show up.
I could be like a waiter in a scene, just co-star.
Yeah,
just a little co-star roles.
Yeah. As one of my friends from Florida says, he's like, I'll be the janitor. All he wants to be is the janitor and everything. My like bro friend,
a day rate.
I have a bro friend, a very close bro friend from South Florida. Who's like a construction worker and like surfer and whatever. Yeah, he's like great. He's like one of my.
Where did you go to college again?
I went to Harvard. You know that I went to Harvard.
Oh, I forget.
No, you don't. He fucking knows.
Harvard. No. That's like the FSU of Boston.
Yes, that's what they say.
Yeah.
They say that up there too.
Did you get into FSU?
I'm not sure.
Did you even apply?
I'm not sure I applied.
You didn't apply to FSU just to see? Obviously, would have got in.
You know what? There was like that application, the common application, because Florida gives you a free ride. Florida is kind of amazing that if you get certain grades, you got a free ride.
I had to pay.
Michael, if you had to pay to go to school in Florida and you are from Florida, that's not a good sign. That is a devastating sentence.
Yeah, God. I think I still have some bills I haven't even reached.
Michael. Were you? And be honest.
And here we are sitting at the same table.
I know, devastating.
Isn't that crazy how we just met? Harvard, community college, transferred to FSU.
Are you going to pull a gun out from under this table so I can kill myself on camera?
Think I could own a gun? Because
that would be so good. That would get you so many ratings, you know?
Yeah, it would be one of the... I already think this is one of my more interesting episodes.
Let me ask you this.
Your brain is fascinating.
Let me ask you this. Did you, and answer me honestly.
Yeah.
Did you really try when you were in high school?
No.
Okay, so that's you. You didn't apply yourself.
Yeah,
you didn't apply yourself.
No.
You were like you were uninterested,
this
or you
is
weren't
boring.
putting.
I learned most of the things I learned were in college. Because you know how like the first 2 years of college you're relearning like everything they taught you in high school. Like you're doing the entry level classes. You're doing whatever you would call them. Like you're just kind of reviewing everything you've learned through the last 12 years, really. You're doing like English 101 and all that stuff in college.
We went to different schools.
Sure, maybe because you were doing like AP classes senior year. But I was like, I remember going over this, but like, yeah, now I'm getting good grades.
My high school was very competitive.
What
it was
high
like
school?
A public school, Spanish River.
My whole college is Spanish River.
So
think about the mutual friends we have.
Must be so many people.
Do you know Michael Levitt?
No.
Matthew Saverick.
Later
what was your middle school?
You can't.
Loggers Run?
You can't. Yes. Loggers Run.
My uncle was your PE teacher.
Who was it?
Ray. Uncle Ray.
Oh, wait, he has a mustache?
Yeah, Ray Lenoci. How crazy is that?
Wait, is he a health teacher?
He was, no, he I think he got into principal. He's retired now, but he was like the PE instructor.
Was he science?
No, just the PE, full-time PE guy.
He had a mustache?
Yeah.
I think I remember Lenoci. This is why I know the name.
Yeah, Ray Lenoci.
That's fantastic.
Fro, curly hair.
Yeah, that really rings a bell. I can kind of see it.
Loggers Run in Boca.
Wow.
And then Spanish River, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to
you didn't
your
apply
romance.
yourself. You didn't apply yourself in high school at all. I think
I was making Tom Green videos. That's why. I was more...
Okay, so you were focused on something else.
Yes.
You kind of had a diverted
I was
attention.
like, I was already starting to
That's
be
why
creative.
you ended up paying for college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I didn't even know. My mom was just like, after I graduated, she was like, by the way, I couldn't afford to pay for everything, so here you have these loans you're going to have to pay off.
If you had thought about that before you went, would you have tried harder? If you had thought about the impact.
If I didn't know that, I wasn't even educated about finances and money. Like if I would have known, like if someone would have came up to me when I was 14 and said, you getting this 2.2 GPA in high school, you're going to have to pay a lot. Like
that's going to impact your financial.
I wouldn't have cared. I probably would have I'll figure it out when I get there.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's how I am with a lot of things.
Oh, okay. See, there's certain things like financial education. So I know some people are very wealthy now, and the education that they had as when they were starting from when they were 3, 4, 5 years old, in terms of finances, in terms of understanding investments, in terms of EFTs. The times I've had money, I call some of those people up, and I'm like, this is a world of knowledge that I didn't get. And so there's a really interesting thing of sometimes when you don't know stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's why I'm curious, because it's like there's a massive financial consequence to you being an idiot in high school.
Sure.
And yet you continue to be an idiot in high school.
Yes.
But in this case, there was just ignorance. You didn't know.
Well, no one did. We didn't teach finances at that age. It's
or
not
that
a popular thing. I don't know
exactly.
if they are now.
Well, because
your parents should have probably.
The full ride thing, I think
my sister got it.
Yeah, it's especially.
But I was into the pot and stuff, by high school.
The pot.
Yeah.
You could still do great in school on pot. It's not that hard.
I think I was probably like, going through stuff. I was a late bloomer and I wasn't able to play sports anymore. And I think I was just like heartbroken from that. And I probably didn't know how to emotionally deal with that. So I was like, you know what, forget about school. I'm just going to smoke pot and just be silly. And, here we are 30 years later, connected. And maybe this is a turning point in our lives. We're at
you know what's very funny is I can see in your face that you don't even believe yourself.
No, but like, you know, but I'm being entertaining, and that's what's important.
But in your face and in your eyes, what I think is really,
which is good acting, which is bad acting actually.
It's actually bad acting.
Yeah,
if
it's
I
actually
can
bad
see
acting.
that you're not.
But I'll change it.
lying.
Watch like this.
No, hold on.
There's
go
a
on.
reason we're here.
I still don't believe you. Go again. Make me believe it. Make me believe it. Okay, make me believe it. We're both gonna believe it. Okay.
All right, Kiran.
Hold on. I don't know if I can do this. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna do it.
Kiran. You got it. Come on, we're acting.
I'm going.
All right,
go ahead.
Where are we? Give us a scene.
No, there's no scene.
Can we be somewhere?
We're not anywhere. We're right here.
Okay, we're right here, and we're falling in love right now.
No, I think the truth is, I think the truth is, Linochi, and I think this is actually going to be a fascinating episode for you, is that you don't have any interest in me, and I don't have any interest in you. And I think that's honestly very true. And I think that's okay.
If we were on an island and it was 15 years we were stuck there, we would sleep with each other.
Maybe.
Yeah, we would have to.
Maybe. But that's like a very extreme circumstance, and also probably not where you should go if you were actually attracted to somebody.
Sure, but
and I actually think that's fascinating.
You think I'm an attractive person.
I don't think there's anything wrong with you. You know,
like, that's a great way to not answer the question.
I don't think there's anything wrong with you, just like you don't think there's anything wrong with me. But it's like, I think there's a very interesting thing where I really do have a soft spot in my heart for you. I think you're.
Would you hook me up with someone you knew?
Like, how well do I know them? Not a close friend. Not a close friend but that's also because I've done that in the past, and it's kind of.
It gets sticky. It's
like, especially if somebody doesn't treat somebody else right. I have tried that in the past, and then it kind of.
I would set you up with someone, but they would have to be like, just a kind of a guy who's just like, yeah, like you're tough. Like, you need someone that you can kind of like, you're in the driver's seat the whole time.
So it's somebody I could kick around.
A little bit, not in a bad way.
I don't think so?
I don't think that you would do it. Like, I don't think you would mistreat them. I just think you would be like, I think someone would have to stimulate your brain, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like, so it's not combative.
Yeah.
Because you have strong opinions.
I think I do very well. I think I do very well with two kinds of people. I do very well with like
deaf and blind people. No.
Helen Keller.
Yeah.
I said lesbians. I do very well with lesbian. No, I do very well with like, if somebody is a very kind of like charismatic and fun and funny person, like, I think I can. No.
That's me.
Yeah, but somebody who also like. Because I can run, like, my mood can go low, and it's somebody where I'm like, I'm going to kill myself.
I can pick you up.
But it's like, they can kind of laugh that off, you know, and be like, that's hilarious. Like, I do well with people like that, you know?
I'm that, just so you know. I'm not, I know it sounds like we're doing the bit, but like.
Yeah.
But in real, I am that. You
have it, but it's not the right. It's like the frequencies aren't right.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But I can still also be that.
Sure.
Okay.
You have a version of that.
So there's a version of me that you would be compatible with you.
I mean, we
don't try to run around the truths. There is a version of me that you're like, this would be compatible for me, outside of the bit of, oh, hey, we should date.
I really, really, really don't think so. and I mean that because I would like to say yes because of your show. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's funnier to say no. But
I want you to have the win for the show.
I don't want the win. I want to earn it.
Yeah.
But I want to also point out that what you described is something that you have
a version of this quality.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it's really interesting that there can be people, and I think we have this, where it's like, I really feel like you really feel like my friend, or you really feel like my brother, in a way that's like a way that I think is actually like a really healthy, cool, good thing that we don't talk about enough, that exists. You know, people are like, men and women can't be friends, but like, I think one thing that is really cool about meeting so many comedians is I have met a lot of guys who have been really amazing friends to me. Do you know what I mean? And have been amazing colleagues, amazing support systems, like, you know, like amazing. I think I have that with
a lot of female comedians.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have like, there's no. Or even if there was in the past, like, it's just, and maybe that's because I was like, I had a better relationship with my mom than my dad. It's like a mama boy thing.
Sure.
So there is something of like that. She was kind of my mentor in life. So
you have like, there's like a sweetness there, or like a, you know, it's like, there's been times, whatever, we've all had like disappointments, and like
Sure.
and there's been times when it's like the people I call up, the friends I call up, because so many of our colleagues are men.
Yeah.
It's dudes, and they're so
many conversations about dating and even the business also.
Yeah,
with
they're so supportive, they're so loving. It's like and really, or even when I've had, like even if I've had like a bad romantic experience, sometimes they'll tell a comic about it, and then they'll be like, and then they'll kind of be like, yeah, fuck that guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, that guy sucks.
Can we find out a little bit more about that? Can we find out about some of the romantic?
Let's make it public.
Because
Let's make it
public. there is a part of like.
Tell me about all of your, because I don't know anything about your romantic life either.
I've had the last serious relationship was in 2022, and then I've kind of been, guilty of love bombing over the last 3 years, and thinking that I'm not. And being dumb and thinking that I'm not, but before you reverse Uno card me, which was very good.
Well, and also,
which was good.
Also, I was going to say you're love bombing them. And what did we talk about yesterday about the pause on the phone? We talked about this on the phone.
Yes, she taught me this. We were talking on this phone, and she goes, going forward, when you are feeling these strong emotions and you think it's something that you're excited about, like you've been in the past, pause, take deep breaths, and kind of really think about what you're in, and maybe you can kind of control. She used a lot of big words, but it was something with the brain about like you're developing new muscles in the brain, essentially.
Yeah, because it's like you have you were saying I have a pattern. And when you have a pattern, it's unconscious. So I have a pattern of getting angry. I'll get like really angry, like I'll get full of rage, and then I'll get really angry. And so it's like if you want to. So the psychology of this is like it's like a pattern. It's like this. Your brain is like a loop. It's like in a racetrack. So if you can pause, when you start to get into that loop, what happens is that you open up the opportunity for a fork in the road to make a different decision. And now you could be calmer and not get as angry and walk away instead of screaming at the guy on the phone at Spectrum. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. You can kind of make a different choice. You could do the same thing. You probably didn't realize that you were love bombing because you're in the pattern. But if you can identify it at some point, you've made an unconscious thought conscious, then you pause, and then you have that second where you just go, and all you need is like this much. I just think it's so fascinating because it's not just true for you, it's true for all of us with some part of your life, eating, donuts or whatever it is, or exercising. You have a pause where you can like make a different choice, and then you can start a new habit in your brain. That's so cool to me. I
think it is cool. I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah, and
you
can
taught
do
me something.
Yeah, and you're going to do that with the love bombing, so that you can not love bomb somebody, and then you can meet a nice lady or whatever.
I think it's also a part of it is like I'm not there. I'm not willing to take on the responsibilities of what it is to be in a relationship. I think it's a lot of work, and it would be selfish of me to drag someone along and think that like, hey, I can be your ride or die and fight for you and be here for you. And there's so many bigger responsibilities than just sex and saying you're beautiful and I love you.
Sure.
That's just that's the tip of the iceberg. And you forget about that when you're single for so long.
Right.
You date and you casually date and you meet people and you get excited for all the reasons that are just surface level things.
Sure.
But what really matters are really important things that are a big deal in developing a relationship for the long term, not temporarily. And sometimes you get into that and you're like, are you sure you're actually really ready for that?
Well, that's funny. That's quite mature of you to kind of address. It made me think of, and I was like, nobody's going to love this if I say this, but it's like getting a dog. Do you know what I mean? Like when you get a dog,
it's a great
it's
point.
Like, everybody,
you see the puppy. You don't think about the full grown thing.
Yeah. And
you're
also,
like, the puppy's so cute.
But also like, it's like one of my good friends, Fizza, has these two massive dogs now, and they're expensive. They're hundreds of dollars a month. There's leashes, you just got to walk them twice a day, they need all this exercise and whatever, but there is an ROI, there's a return on the investment of companionship, of love, that has definitely, I can say with her, has definitely like made her a happier, more well-rounded, more balanced person in ways that I don't think, in ways that you can't quantify in late stage capitalism, which is our current society.
It feels like this episode could be on NPR.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's because of my voice. It's my voice.
It really is.
It's my voice.
You have a great voice.
Thank you so much.
Have you done voiceover work?
No, it's shocking. I've done so little voiceover.
You should ask her why she Went to Harvard and chose to be
a
stand-up comedian. That's wild.
Yeah, say it again. I didn't hear.
Why she went to Harvard and chose to be
Conan
a stand-up
comedian. Some of the most brilliant comedians went to Harvard.
Yeah, Conan and a lot of the Simpsons writers and all those people. Yeah. I wish I'd started in college. That's the one thing.
Me too. I wish I started doing YouTube in college. It was there.
Yeah, I know. It's like we just didn't know.
But you didn't know. But if we started in college and did that stuff, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably we would be too successful for this.
Would be
doing better off.
Would be better.
That's what your career's going so bad that you're here.
Right. We probably shouldn't speak about it that way, because wouldn't you feel bad if I jumped off a building after this?
I don't think you ever do. I think you just like that joke. I don't think. I think sometimes you get.
Now he's gonna make me act on it.
No,
just to prove him wrong.
No,
stubborn.
If you're gonna kill a joke, go do it. It's kind of like what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I could just laugh it off. I could laugh it off. So let's talk about like someone. What's like, you've been in love how many times?
I would say probably two. Yeah, I would say two.
When's your longest relationship?
I think the most serious relationship was a partner who was an editor for Family Guy.
Nice.
I introduced him to my parents.
Yeah. Is that and that you let? Here's what's interesting. You led with he's an editor from Family Guy.
Well, because I was just, honestly, I was thinking about how to...
Is that what you were attracted to about him?
No. What I was trying to think about was like, how do I want to phrase this? Because I was like, I don't want to give the name.
No
it was
no name.
Yeah, it was more like, it wasn't
names.
Because of the, I was just trying to think of something.
Fine.
Yeah, I was just trying to, I was like, oh, do I say a little Colombian guy? Like, what do I say? Like, what do I...
But what is something that who does Kiran date?
Yeah, it was like a little Colombian guy,
A Colombian guy?
He's like a little guy,
But were you on apps, or are you just naturally meeting people? No, I met him in real life.
I don't think I do very well on apps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that for you.
Apps is like a very white person game.
It's not only that. I think there's also something about when I look at pictures of people, I would see, even if I got together with somebody off of it.
You're not posting a bikini.
Well, also, the first thing is the first thing to me is a meeting. Like, you could just say yes to anybody, because what is this? Yeah. It's just pictures.
Yes,
I don't fucking know
shallow
shit.
Stuff.
I know
it's shallow
nothing.
Reasons.
But also, like, I don't know I truly know nothing about you. This is like, I would get more off of an Instagram page. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
like, it's like,
which is what I always try to go to.
Yeah, it's like you're getting so little of this person, and then so it's like, oh yeah, I guess, like, whatever. And then within, I would say 5 to 7 minutes of when you meet them, you're like, oh, I want to be here. I don't. I had a former manager, and she would set up, I thought this was brilliant. She was like, I'm getting a husband, and she like really made it a mission, and she did it all. And she would set up these like coffee dates, and she'd set them up kind of back to back during her lunch hour.
Like a speed dating thing.
Yeah, but she'd set them up herself, like 4 to 6 of these. And it would be like, she'd meet the guy for coffee. It would be, 10 or 15 minutes, and she'd kind of like evaluate him and be like, I like you, we should go to dinner. I mean, I think she did a better job than this.
But she was very like, in control. Like she was aggressive with it.
She was very.
She was like, I like you. You should take me to dinner.
Yeah, she's like, this is great. I don't like. I gotta go back to work. This is great. I gotta go back to work. But let's get together. Or this has been great. I gotta go back to work. I'll see you around.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So she just kind of made it very fast, very low commitment for both people, and kind of like a quick, like, kind of what the first thing, if you saw somebody in a bar, you saw somebody in real life, you'd be like, oh, like that.
Yeah.
Like, she's creating that for herself to see if that exists in real life. And then it's kind of like the second date is the first real date.
For sure.
And I think this is crazy, because I don't think that most men.
I think it's brilliant.
But I don't think most men think of it that way. I've always thought of the second. If you go out with somebody online, the second date is the first date. The first date is like I met you at a bar, or I met you. That's the first, because it's like, there's been times when I go on those things and I was like, there's no world I would have even been sitting here with you for 30 minutes. Like, if I had seen you in a room, like, this is crazy and we're entertaining enough as people that I can make it fun for anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, I can at least make sure that you have a good time. I can make sure that it's fun or entertaining, but then it really feels like work for me. And I don't like that. I don't like this feeling of like, everything is work. Michael.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, something has to be fun. Like, you have to, like, something has to be fun.
You don't want to have to use your brain so much.
I don't want to have to make, there's always a thing where, when you're sitting opposite another person, I think in like those settings where you want to make sure that it's engaging, you want to make sure that, you know what I mean? It's like
But I FaceTime now a lot before meeting someone.
Oh, do you?
Because I found it's a great way to catch the vibe of knowing like, oh, we'll have a fun banter at the very least as we get to know each other.
I hate FaceTime. What about...
You get used to it. It's like anything. I hate like when they update the iPhone and then you're confused for 2 weeks. But once once I've FaceTimed 10 different women, and then I'm like, okay, this is not that bad. Or it's with their permission of knowing like, hey, would you be open to like setting up a FaceTime?
Do you ever think
because then I'm not wasting my time going on a dinner
I hear
date,
you. I hear you. Do you ever think that you should just like pick one and it's fine?
I can't.
Did you see his face? I hope you zoom in on that and like
I
the
can't.
two. What does that mean?
What do you mean pick one?
Just pick one
and then
go.
like because I think that's part of the problem is like if there's something that's not there that I think would be good for
if you have
then
to
I know there's another option.
If you pick something else, like if you're like buying oat milk, or let's say that you have to get like a speaker or whatever, do you have to get like the best speaker and do all of the price point comparisons and like
great point.
You know,
but it's a little bit different when you're talking about like an everyday partner who's going to be a business partner essentially in your life. With that, you're talking about if I'm choosing a different milk, that's 10 minutes of my day. A partner is your whole life.
Yeah.
So it's way. And
do you have indecision in other areas of your life, or is it just here? I guess.
No, I think it's like it wasn't until the last couple of years where I feel like I really am decisive with all of my decisions in the work world of like what I'm creating and doing and stand up. Like I like a new joke idea come in. I'm like, get out of here. You know what I mean? Like I have my act. This is my act. I'm polishing it, and it's like, let me just do 15 around town. If I do the road, this is how I want to do. But like, really, there's no point in preparing an hour until you're big enough to there's a mass that wants to see it. Like I have this business. I have it figured out. I feel like, you know what I mean?
I hope that when you cut that together, I hope that you have all of this stuff and whatever, because you sounded insane.
Yeah, but it is insane. Like if you saw my apartment and my mirror, I have a mirror in my living room. I have all my bits written out. Like I'm obsessed with organization. My eating routine, my workout routine, like I feel in so much control of everything in that part where I'm hoping to get to a place and just someone plugs right in. And maybe it goes to the...
That's insane.
Is it?
That is so insane.
That's insane. That's insane that you would think that somebody would plug into your life. You just described...
I'm an outlet.
You just described a series of index cards for your eating and your routine, and then you just want a human index card on the board next to those
very
things.
robotic,
that's gonna plug. That's going to plug
it's
right
very
in.
Fahim-esque.
It's like, honestly, the wrong parts have rubbed off on you, clearly. Like, that's not...
I'm very organized. So if I have someone and I have an idea of what would be compatible and what would be good for me if I, going forward as a partner, I feel
here's a good example. And like my last relationship, it would be like I sleep late, right? Or I'm a night owl. It's like I just, I'm not on a, usually if I had my druthers, it's like, and depending on what the schedule is, obviously if I have to get up for work, I get up for work. But like if I had my druthers, it would be like I go to bed at like 2 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I wake up at about 10. That's probably about what the schedule would be. But because this dude had a like proper job, he has to be at work at 10. And like, so at the beginning it was like, oh, it's cool. Like I'm a night owl too. I was like, oh, this guy's so relaxed. This is like so nice. He's so relaxed. He doesn't mind that I like run a little late. Like this guy's like great. But he did mind. He minded all of those things, and he was kind of masking because he liked me. There's just chemistry. Yeah, but then it's like it kind of boiled over. And as it got like later in the relationship, first of all, I didn't even know he was upset. And then second, what happened is that then I was like, okay, well, like, obviously we have to make something where we both compromise, right?
So separate beds.
Yeah, well, I said we have to make something where we both compromise. So like instead of going to bed at like, okay, I won't go to bed at 2, I'll go to bed at 12. Can you go to bed at 12? And then he's like, no, but I go to bed at like 10:30. And I'd be like, well, can you make it 11:30? Like, can you compromise? And then it's like, no, I can't compromise. I need this much sleep. And I was like, all right, fine. You go to bed when you need to go to bed, and then I'll go to bed. You know what I mean? Like, and then that's fine.
Why? I feel like that's a micro thing.
It's a totally fine thing. But then he was like, but then when you get to the bed, then it makes me like, then I wake up because like I was sleeping, and it's like, you disturb my sleep. And also, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I want that time when you can like cuddle because we both go to sleep at the same time. And it's like, this is what I'm talking about. There's like a level of rigidity.
Yeah.
And when you're talking, it reminds me of that. Like, I think all of those things are relatively small and like laughable, and like you can be flexible about them. You know what I mean? But like, if you're thinking that way now, how are you going to be able to be that way? Because there's going to be something about this person. You know, maybe they're messier than you, or they're sloppier than you.
I'm open to that. I'm malleable with that stuff. Like, I understand, like, look, like when
they steal all your money, you know what I mean? They sleep with your friends. They sleep with your father.
I'm open to that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, look, as long as everybody's happy. But like, you know, like stuff like a messy thing, like it's not things like that. It's I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Because I haven't found it yet.
The idea to slot right in, though, is language.
It's a hypothetical,
but
right?
It's also, you know, I was just with this very clever doctor, my friend's father in New York.
This is what you were dating?
No, I was just in New York, and I stayed at my friend's dad's place. And he's like this very clever doctor, and he was talking about.
He's like, instead of doing surgery this way, we should do it this way.
He was like,
clever.
No, he talked about the nuance of language and how important the nuance of language is. You know, and it's like, if you are sitting here talking about, like, I was actually, this was the conversation I was having with the dad. I was saying, I'm worried politically about the current political situation, because while so many of my friends are politically active, I was just in Philly for a show, and I was talking just to the Uber driver, just the random Uber driver, and I was like, yeah, man, like, Minneapolis ICE, it's like pretty scary and fucked up, like, what's going on? And he was like, yeah, you know, but I kind of see both sides, because it's like, you know, why are these protesters out there instigating on ICE? You know what I mean? Like, why are these protesters out there? And it's like, and he made this great point that he was like, why is a peaceful protester instigating? Is like, he's like, the real question in the nuance of language is like, why do you see a peaceful protester as instigation? Why do you see that as pushing someone? That is a fundamental human right as an American citizen that you get, that is your right in this country and is the foundation of our Constitution. That's a nuance of language question, which is lost with our current administration, with the current president, and because people like that, you know, are in their house being like quiet or like doing things behind the scenes, but aren't on podcasts and aren't like bad, sad, and like posting on X all the time. Yeah. When I hear you say, I'm just looking for someone to slot in, it kind of betrays psychologically, unconsciously, how you see what the function of a woman in your life would be. Does that make sense?
So that now you understand why I stand with ICE.
And then I just get up and leave. I just take the ice and I like throw it at you, and I'm like, oh,
God. Come on, that was a good one. That was a good one.
It was good. You were waiting. You were waiting for it.
I found it. I found it at the end.
You found it at the end. You were like, I gotta find something.
No. I like it.
Yeah. I'm upset. Yeah.
Do you want to have kids?
I don't know. I don't feel.
I wonder what you're like as a mom.
I'd be great. I think I'd be great.
All of you would.
I think I'd be great. I think I'd be a great mom.
Most women.
Because I have a mom who ran a preschool.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So
there is some nurturing ability to you.
Well, I don't think.
You don't like to share it.
No, I think it's more like she just knows so much about early childhood education and like what the kids are supposed to be doing, and like, you know.
Do you cuddle?
You're supposed to do. Everyone cuddles. What
no,
what kind of a question is that?
It's not.
Ren?
No, it's not. There's different versions of it. It's a spectrum of cuddling. Are you someone who desires it and needs it and wants to be held? Or are you like, yes, of course I've cuddled after sex. Yeah, sure, not like that. But are you someone like are you?
My mother watches my Instagram page. For fuck's sake, Michael.
Your love language doesn't come off as like maybe as a touch or as maybe a gift giver. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to like understand.
What did my friend say? He said light. Somebody who enjoys light abuse was your love language.
Yeah. What is?
Yeah.
You're. I wonder. I don't think I've ever even seen you flirt with someone. I would love to see you flirt. I wonder what that looks like.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm very good at flirting. I think I'm good at being charming. I think I'm good at being warm and charming. I don't know if I'm a great flirt.
Can we pretend that we're like?
I think that's gonna go very badly for me.
But can we do a scene?
I really don't want to.
I know you're an actress.
I know, but I really don't want to do that.
You don't want to do a scene because I can edit it really funny. Like I put music under it.
I know.
And then like it's cute. It's
I know. It feels.
I'm just like at a grocery store shopping for oat milk, and then you're like, "Do you see what's going on in the world?" I'm like, "It's unbelievable and disgusting."
You're like, I'm super upset about. I don't even buy ice anymore.
Yeah, no.
I don't buy it. I don't make it in my freezer.
Yeah, we don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done scenes before, but if you're not open to it, you know what? If you were like in like a dress and like you had that leather jacket on and you like were smoking a cigarette and like maybe there's pink hair coming out, I could see that character in you. Like you had a broken home growing up, maybe you had a couple miscarriages and it like really affected you, abusive boyfriends. Like that's a character you could play. Do you think so? You're like, where's he going with this?
Yeah, what?
I don't know.
It's like being asked if you're the middle child.
Sure. Are you a middle child?
No, just an older sister, but they're, who knows if they tried after me and it didn't work. I don't know. So I could have been.
One thing we talked about on the phone yesterday that I remember being quite interesting was like
find this for us.
Like you were like, I said, what's the value of a relationship? Right. And to me, it was like, oh, it's like the one nice thing about having a partner is like the partner is a mirror. We
were talking about the divorcees.
Yeah, the divorcees. Like
divorcees.
Yeah, my friends are
Harvard FSU.
divorcees, whatever.
Potato.
But it's like I remember talking to quite a few friends who were saying they miss the mirror of somebody being there as a witness in your life. Like if you've been with somebody since you were 20 and they saw you grow up, even like your friends, they can look at you and be like, you were such a like puppy dog. You've always been super excited. Yeah. People reflect you back to you in a way you might not see yourself. Yeah, and if you have someone in your life who cares about you and loves you and you do that for each other, I think that makes you both stronger.
It's important to keep your old friends around. I think they can keep you humble, if that makes sense. But like the reflection thing is a little, I guess your old friends will always tell you, you're always, if they talk like that, men are kind of a little bit less communicating like that. When I see your old friends, you were like that. It sounds like an older relative saying it to you, but like as a relationship, imagine one thing we will never experience is if we were in love at 25 and we made it to 35, the 25 to 35 are such
Yeah, I think you see a lot.
Things.
I think you get a lot.
Whereas like we're done. Like we're gonna grow.
You're cooked.
Yes, but you and I.
Right.
We understand who we are and we have our strong point of views now, and we'll learn and maybe grow a little bit more. But it's got to be harder to date the older you get, even though you think it's easier.
You're saying it's solidified. You're like a solidified person.
Well, we're not going to have that mirror effect with someone. Is what you're talking about?
I think you can.
Really?
I think you can have it with somebody. Yeah, you're probably going to live to be
years?
like a billion. I don't know. You're
90.
A white guy, so maybe
I
less.
had a grandpa that made it to 90, and then
wow.
I'm on top of my like. I'm trying to be better, like
because Italians,
I think live long sometimes.
They live
like
because they're in that blue zone. They're in that blue zone with the wine and the sardines or whatever the fuck they eat over there.
I'm like 39 days sober right now too. So, but I'll get back into wine. I'll get back there. I'll get back there.
I do. I love alcohol. It's a real problem.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I know. I need
See,
to be
there's
better
so
about
many
that.
things I think of you as like, oh, I would trust her with my baby if I had one. I'm like, she'll keep this thing alive.
Most people will keep a baby alive.
I trust you.
Oh, that's very kind. Yeah.
And in some aspects, like, right, we all trust certain people, but I would trust you.
You seem trustworthy. Yeah.
You seem trustworthy.
Responsible.
Now, yes.
You wouldn't kill my dog, kind of vibe.
No, well, I would love a dog. Yeah. I might not give it back.
Do you have a dog?
No, I want to, but we can't.
Why don't you get a little dog?
I don't want to be traveling with a dog.
You could take a little one.
It's a lot of work. Yeah. I already do that with Rick Glassman. I go on the road with him sometimes, and he's the dog's with us, and it's cute, but it's a lot. It's still a lot.
Do you carry the dog, or does he?
I play with the dog, and I'll hold him sometimes, and he's
Who carries the dog on the plane?
He does, of course. He's like attached to it. I go sometimes. I told him I was like, you got to leave your dog at home sometimes, so it doesn't create this anxiety for the dog. Otherwise, it's gonna get paranoid every time you leave it. It's like it's got to have some sort of independence. And he's like, yeah, I know. But like, there's times where it's like I have a dog because he's like, I'm going to go walk the dog. Do you want to come? And then he looks at me and I'm like, yeah, I guess I have to.
The dog, it's got to be really interesting to be a dog because you don't know if and when someone's coming back.
You also don't know
that there's
a better life or a worse life. You don't have any concept of what the world is.
They don't have any sense of time.
No. They can.
Their sense of time is different.
Sense that. They don't know the difference between 1 month and 2 months, but they know the difference between a couple hours in a day.
Right, but they don't. I mean? But if you leave the house, they don't know if you're leaving for.
They don't know how long you're leaving for.
Milk, or if you're leaving for 10 hours. Yeah. And that's
sad.
It's got to be stressful.
So if they have a family, it's a little less stressful for them because they have the kids. There's people. The door's open all the time. Dogs are for families, but a lot of people have dogs for, selfish reasons.
Yeah.
Which becomes like the thing that I guess is good that people get annoyed about is a service dog. They need to be with them all the time because they're both anxious without that dog.
We both need dogs. This is what I'm getting from this. We're both dog people that we didn't know.
Or a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
No, dogs.
Really?
Yeah.
You also seem like you're a tough lover. No?
Seems like she just doesn't. She seems like you actually are a very loving person. You're just careful who you give it to.
I think that's exactly right.
Do you think you've been hurt really bad? Is that why?
What?
Or you're just smart?
Smart.
What do you mean? So you're not like a little free with your love and stuff? Like your body count's really low. We can't talk about that on here.
She respects herself.
Like, Kiran, you've never been to a bar, got drunk, met a guy, and go, I'm going home with this guy. It just doesn't seem like it's in your nature. But you've never done that?
I can't answer that question on the internet. This is going to go on the internet.
Watching, remember?
Yeah.
This is going to go on the internet. My whole family looks at that.
You think they're going to watch the whole episode?
They're
they watch everything?
real set of snoops.
You're an adult.
I know.
Come on, give us something.
Okay, let's think.
Give us something. All right, what's something that's non-negotiable in a partner for you?
I'll say, okay, well, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. My parents had an arranged marriage.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we talked about this. This was a thing we said. So I said it's one thing I find myself asking right now, like a question that I will find myself asking is like we talked about this. Like usually we think there's like the spark. You want some chemistry because it helps you get over the hump of not caring about the other stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like anything you're not going to like, anything that's going to be the thing that doesn't make the person slot in, you start forgiving it because of the chemistry. And I just like him, or I just like her. She's just cute. She's like a sweet, like we have so much fun together. We laugh so much together, whatever. It's like that factor. Right. But what's really interesting, like I think in arranged marriages, the kind of the thing is like, this is a companion for life. Do you know what I mean? Like you are picking a companion for life. So I think it's really interesting. My mom had an arranged marriage. Technically, so did my dad. He had an arranged marriage because he was married to my mom. But my mom said no to the first guy that she was arranged to. And then do you know what happened?
That guy killed himself.
He died.
Oh.
I mean, he died of a car accident like 10 years later. Isn't that wild to think about?
Because he was like alone. Because he didn't have someone to kind of direct
I think he
him.
married somebody else.
Okay,
I think it might have just been like bad luck or something.
But she might have changed.
She could have changed it. It's so true. Exactly.
Does she carry that guilt?
No, not at all. She doesn't even think about it. She's like, isn't that crazy?
Your dad's probably like, man, I wish I took his. I wish I took the route.
Yeah. My dad's like, I'd be done. Damn.
He's like, damn, that guy did it right.
But then my mom. So I think it's really interesting because it's like she picked someone. But she picked somebody, so then she was like, nah, not him. It was like a childhood friend or something. And then she picked my dad.
I think that's something that people don't understand. I always thought, I was under the assumption that arranged marriages was like.
You're just stuck with the person.
You don't have that choice. The family is choosing the partner.
No, there was also like, but there was some choice, but it wasn't a lot of like, it's like you kind of go out once or you all sit together for tea and then you're like, yeah, he seems fine. Yeah, whatever. We're from compatible families. There's a logic to it, right? Because it's like, if you're from similar backgrounds, you have similar values, you have similar shared experiences,
like us,
similar thing. Yeah, just people who are in similar fields, like they do have similar shared backgrounds, or you both. Yeah, I think that's absolutely real. And then it's like people are kind of rolling the dice that this will work out. If both people, it's kind of like, and the other thing we talked about is like it's like two people both like said, "Yep, I'm in." And
then they're more committed to being,
making it work,
making compromises. You know what I mean? As if you're an independent person dating, you're less likely to do that because you're like, I could just let me find a different option. But in the arranged marriage sense, it's like, all right, we're agreeing, we're growing, and then you're learning together.
We got to make it work. It's kind of like, that's what Mr. and Mrs. Smith, did you see the TV show Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the Donald Glover version?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of about that. It's kind of about because they're stuck together in this like, as spies, but it's also a fake marriage. So they're stuck with each other.
Yeah.
And how you make it work if you're stuck with each other. If you are on an island and you had to make it work, you'd make it work because otherwise somebody would be dead.
Yeah, because they would kill themselves.
Or they would kill the other person. Or both people would be dead.
It is fascinating. But I do an am I overreaction story that I get from, the Reddit thing. And look, they're not the greatest, but there are stories of couples talking about their relationship and if they overreacted. So I'll read it to you. patient with me. I went to FSU.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I was gonna read.
Okay, my boyfriend is attracted to my insecurities and it makes me feel awful. Am I overreacting? I am insanely insecure about my stomach and my thighs. I have always been. I can't remember ever really liking the way I look. My boyfriend is a thigh guy. He loves to grab my thighs and tell me they are squishy and they feel like Play-Doh.
I would jump off a cliff. I would jump off a
cliff. It's so
this
funny.
Boyfriend sounds hilarious.
And then he goes, I get that he thinks they are attractive, but just the fact that he points them out makes me feel way worse. He also he also loves my jiggly stomach and my jiggly fat ass.
Diabolical.
Which is perfectly fine that he's attracted to it, but I hate that he brings it up even in a good way. Today he told me he loved that my thighs were the same size as his. What girl would want to hear that? And he squeezes them. I've tried to explain to him, but he just thinks he's complimenting me and it doesn't click in his head that my attractive fat ass and thighs could make me insecure. I don't know what to do.
Oh, she's got to embrace it.
What do you think about that?
It made me laugh.
I know,
but made me laugh. Oh my God, that made me laugh.
Isn't that a blessing in a way? Like your biggest insecurities, someone loves.
Yeah, someone loves. I mean, it's
like you have the guy, you have your soulmate.
It's like that old Janelle James joke when she was like, I watch Hoarders, and then it's like, or somebody who's like I'm 600 pounds or whatever, and then it's like, and they're so like all the things that are wrong with them, and then you meet their husband, and then you're like, and then these bitches out here are like, I can't meet anybody. Yeah, there is someone for you. Like it's like that's a good.
What is that? Would that affect you? I mean, that that would be.
I think the reason I laughed is because I used to do that. Like I would like take, because I thought that it made me laugh, right? It was like
your boyfriend.
Yeah, and I would take his stomach, and I would go like this.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
So you like a guy
like a human stress relief ball? No, he wasn't big, but it was like I would just
something like me.
Another
thing.
Smaller. Damn. But that was mean.
Yeah. No, you're allowed to be.
There's nothing wrong with you. You're fine as you are.
Physically.
Here we are. We're here and it's good. And anyway, so I would do this like a like those, what are those, the
stress balls? Sure.
Yeah, stress balls.
You use his little lower belly for a stress ball, and he wouldn't like it.
He hated that.
I would be like, that's cute.
He hated that. He thought it was he really hated that. Wow. And that's why I was laughing, because it was like he was like, come on, man, stop. He was like, come on, stop.
You're a bully in a relationship. That's what it is.
Wow. I mean,
she probably likes a man who likes to be bossed around a little bit.
Of course, she's a bit of an alpha.
A little troll. I mean, I think I troll a little.
Well, you're a comedian.
I troll a little.
Would you ever date a comedian?
I
did.
Don't think so.
Have you ever?
Don't.
Not one.
So maybe like a little bit. I dated a little bit of one.
Yeah.
I think I dated one where I was like, you can never tell anyone about this. And then he was like, okay.
Does he still do stand-up?
I don't know.
Oh, so no.
I don't even know. I don't know. I mean,
man, you ran him out of the business. After you guys broke up, you're like, listen, you can't do stand-up.
No, I didn't say. Yeah, I brought like 3 guys. They all had.
It's over.
Yeah, exactly.
Your dreams are done.
Yeah, exactly. I had a mob with me. It was. They had pitchforks and everything. It was the whole thing. Yeah. No, but I remember. I think I said something like, "You can never tell anybody." He was like, "Okay." Very nice. Very nice.
You don't want, you're not someone who shares and likes to like introduce, like one thing that's important to me if I'm dating someone, I want everyone to meet them to see like how much this is why I like them. Let's go. Let's all have fun. I want to have fun in social environments. I have been guilty of throwing people into the fire quickly. Like, oh, you're dating? You're like, come on, we're going to the Comedy Store or whatever. You're going to meet people. Hey, yeah, this is the girl I'm dating. Oh, hey. It's like, you forget. That's very overwhelming.
How many weeks in? 2 weeks in? 3 weeks in?
Right away.
What?
Hey, after dinner, let's go to this comedy
show. No, that's madness. You got to stop that.
No, I not all the time, but like I don't think about that. I'm like, yo, you got to be able to keep up.
No, that's like you got to give someone a second on that. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Do we need to give you anything else?
For what you need?
Yeah, I think it's like I would say I'm open to a relationship now though. But a partner. I want like
me. You want a business partner?
I want a long-term partner.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you froze your eggs?
I did. Oh my God, it's a crazy story.
The first finally someone who responded in a positive way. Some girls get so offended by that.
I did freeze them. I froze them, and this is like, I feel like I was the first comedian that this doctor had ever had. He was so excited. It was like I felt like it was like a rabbi walks into a bar joke.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really regretted telling him I was a comedian, you know?
Always. I don't tell anyone.
He was so excited.
I never tell people.
He was so excited. I mean, he was like when he's like, because they have to take that wand and put it in your pussy, and then they like do this whole thing. And then he was like, so what's your favorite joke? And I'm like, what?
While he's inside you?
What? Why are you asking me this?
While he's inside you?
He had a whole he shared his favorite. It's like a good bit now. It's like the whole.
Oh, you're doing it.
I'm
that's
not.
a lot.
It was like it's a very funny. The bit's very funny. It's not out like publicly yet, but it is like it's just a wild. People are wild out here in these streets with their. People are wild.
Do you still keep in touch with a lot of people in South Florida? By the way.
I have, I have a very close friend from high school who lives in Vermont. You know what I like about people from South Florida who I stayed in touch with, and maybe this is true.
We'll close on this.
Yeah, maybe this is true. I don't know if you agree with this. Oh, I do want to ask you, did you know I was from South Florida when we met? You said you're very good at picking up if people are from South Florida, and nobody ever guesses that I am perfect from South Florida.
I feel like there's a certain energy where, like, there was this girl... I've never met her, and she's a comedian in New York. Her name's Elle Orlando, and she grew up in Florida. But like it was one of my few episodes where I'm meeting them for the first time right here,
okay.
Which is always like, all right, this is kind of like a real first date. It's kind of nerve-wracking, and there was this energy of like, we discovered that we both grew up in Florida, and she goes, I knew there was something, and there's a thing with like. Maybe it's from like the relationships I've had with my friends' girlfriends in high school. There's like this familiarity of this energy I can just tell when talking with a girl that maybe I don't know. It would be so long ago if I had that discovery with you. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I can pick up on it now if I meet someone.
Somebody,
but like if I had to think about like, all right, I remember the Fort Lauderdale Comedy Club meeting you, but I don't have a memory of where we first met in LA or when it was.
No, I don't have a memory of that.
I don't know if it was just over time. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know if I even had that, if I was able to clock that back then because I was so new to LA. That's all I knew. But now that I've been in LA, I've evolved and I am a California person without even knowing. You know what I mean? And so now when you find someone, you're like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's the real thing of what energy is. You know what I mean? You're like there's some sort of banter or like familiarity of like, I don't know. Does that make sense? Do you not have you not felt that?
I did a guest set at your show in Fort Lauderdale, and I met a lot of your friends after. And what I thought was very nice about your friends is they reminded me of like a lot of the guys that I'm still friends with, like the bro-y guy that I'm still friends with, and like his friends. There's like a real like. There's like a sweetness to them. Yeah. There's like a simple, like very, like kind of like sweet, like, hey man, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a very open, warm kind of energy.
Yeah, that was like a Wednesday night, so we got to meet like a lot of like they're all married with kids, but like you know, they're happy to be out, and a lot of them live in Boca too now.
Yeah, like a nice group. They were a nice group.
I was gonna say we should do something around like December again, and like try to like collaborate on trying to fill the room and stuff and get in that room.
We could fill a room. Yeah.
And Greg Hahn lives down there too, and I love him.
You love Greg Hahn.
I think he's so hilarious.
I'm gonna be back in South Florida because I was in a Sundance movie last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to plug things on this, but I was in a Sundance movie last year, but it opens 3/6. March 6th in New York, and then March 20th in Los Angeles, and it'll be theatrical. It's going to be, I think, like awesome. The Laemmles and the AMCs, but they're going to screen it in Florida.
That'll be sick.
So it hopefully we'll be able to get a bunch of people out.
I also just reached out, not to the Black Box, but there's another comedy spot, and it holds like 50. It's in Boca, like in Meisner. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I usually supposed to end every episode with a kiss. You remember how I end every... Did you not know that? Oh, that's a cute way to do it.
If you want to do it.
What?
You're still recording if you want to do it.
So the last part we end with a kiss on the lips.
I just did it. I kissed my lips and then I gave you a high five.
That's how we do it. Hold on, like this. Here. That just made it gross.
What's that?
Like a little lip.
Oh, these are the hands are like. Okay.
Bye.
Okay.